My name is Jessica.
And I'm Denise.
And we're
Homies in Retrograde.
Okay, now we're in the middle of the park. Hi, everybody. In the middle of a park. We just clap really loudly. They're loud-ass kids. This park is now 80% dog park. It's kind of beautiful.
It is. I love how I said I'm going to start, but then you just took over, and now I don't know what to say.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Say your intro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your host, Denise.
I'm also your host, Jessica.
Thank you for being here.
If
God bless. Amen.
God bless. Amen. Also, are these podcasts getting any better? I don't know.
Well, for me, it makes me socialize. So whether it's getting better or not, you can't quit on me because I'll become a hermit.
Oh my God, no. I would never. If anything, this is doing a lot for me because you're my only friend.
That is so sweet.
Thank you. But also I have a high standard for friends, so.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you go to Life is Beautiful?
I did go to Life is Beautiful.
That's what I thought. I didn't even know it was happening.
They were giving away free BLM bracelets. So that's why I have this.
Beautiful. Describe it for the audience.
Okay, so Life is Beautiful is a music fest in Las Vegas in September. It was awesome. Like, the lineup wasn't that as good as other years, but I got to see my new Queen Lord, which I love her. And the only closer I remember is Calvin Harris. I never really got, like, DJ music, which might make me sound super old, but let me tell you. Okay, I think we both got distracted by that man on an electric bike. I love that for him. But Calvin Harris was lit.
Doesn't he have a, what do you call it when you have a run on the strip?
A residency?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he have a residency on the strip?
I don't even know.
Every time I go to the airport when I'm coming home, I see his, is it Tiesto that has the residency at MGM?
Couldn't tell you.
Girl, when's the last time you went to the strip?
The last time I went to the strip, I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but I can't even remember what it was for.
Oh, my God.
It was either for a concert or a buffet.
Oh, my God, I love buffets. I haven't gone to the strip in literal years.
I think the last time I went was when I went to see Olivia Rodrigo.
When's the last time you got drunk at the strip?
When's the last time I got drunk, period? I couldn't tell you. But
we are no longer drinkers.
No, not at all. But let me tell you, it was pretty litty at Lib. And I'm kind of worried that there might be, like, TikToks of me out there. Like, I'm really scared.
What are you doing?
Because I was dancing my little heart out. Like, no one was watching.
Oh, my God,
I love. What did you do these past couple weeks?
Well, I have been working a lot. That has been taking a lot out of me, which is no fun. I work with little kids, and I don't have any little kids, and I work with people that are way older than me. Not way older, I don't want to say that, but they're like in their 60s. And so they're always telling me about their husbands, and they're like, do you have a husband? And okay, so I will explain how my personality real fast if you haven't caught on. I am like a lizard. I don't know how to explain, but I am very cold as a person when you first meet me. I don't know why that is, but it takes me a long time to warm up. Like, I talk a lot on the podcast because it's me and Denise. I've known Denise for 10 years. And for the first 5, I was a mega bitch. But yeah. So I don't tell them anything. Like, they're like, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a husband? I want to be like, stay in your lane, bitch. But no, I don't tell them like, oh, I'm gay. Oh, I do graphic design. For some reason, when I'm at work, I keep it very professional. Like, and I'm a person that curses. They're like, you're so calm, even when the kids are being bad. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm always at the edge. I'm at the edge of taking these kids fucking out.
Jessica is molding the minds of the youth of America.
Yes, Generation Alpha. That's what they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you too.
Kinda, yeah. So I guess if Generation Alpha turns out to save our dying planet, then that was us. I'll take the credit.
Listen. Me too.
Or they could send us into, like, extinction. We don't know.
I just don't want to end up as a robot head like in Futurama. I want to die one day. I'm not going to lie. I'm not one of those people that are like, make a or what is it? I don't make medicine so I can live forever. No.
No?
No.
So if you could live forever, you wouldn't do it?
Absolutely not.
I don't think I'd want to live forever, but...
How old would you want to live to?
I don't know. I don't want to be an old person. That's what I was about to say. If I could, like, stay my age and live 200 years, I probably would. But if I'm going to be a crippled old lady, then that's a no for me. But you know who did die? The
Who?
Queen.
Of England.
Yes.
We love you. R.I.P.
I mean, people seem to be, like, losing it over this.
I feel like from what I've seen, it's half and half.
Yeah, like half people are like,
who
I don't
gives
give
a fuck?
Yeah. Like I saw this lady on the news. First of all, people stood in line 13 hours for the Queen's memorial service.
Okay, I have something to say about that. First of all, Queen Elizabeth II was the queen since my grandma was like a teenager, since my mom's been alive, since my older siblings have been alive.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only queen I've ever known.
Yeah, since I've been alive, there's never been a king. So, much respect to her. She did a really good job at what she did, you know. She was very impartial. Oh my god, is there a plane? Oh, there really is a plane over us.
You know, one time in this park that we're at, I saw a helicopter land in one of these fields, so...
Is this where, like, the mountain goats are?
I don't think so, but I think this is where, the rescue... What do you call them?
Who?
Like, search and rescue. They practice here.
Oh, do they practice?
On the mountain.
I don't want to say where we are. Well, Vegas is surrounded by mountains, but...
That's true. We're in a little bowl.
We are.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Enough about geography.
Back to Elizabeth. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I've never been, like, a stan of the Queen, you know? I think it's probably really sad for her family. But other than that, like, I mean, I don't mean to make light of it. Like, I think when someone dies, it's always, you know, sad for someone out there. So, but personally for me, you know, we live in such a patriarchal society that it was kind of nice to have
a lady boss.
Yes. Now it just feels so weird to see Prince Charles, now King Charles, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
And can we talk about, just for a brief second, this is totally in my head because even if Diana was alive, they wouldn't be together, so she wouldn't be queen. But I don't know, it just feels icky to see him and
the woman he
Camilla
was having a crazy affair with, like a lifelong affair.
Yes.
See, okay, now we're diving into stuff. I was gonna just say, I have this whole thing with the royal family. I just don't understand why those two didn't get married in the first place. Like, they've known each other since before he got married.
Did Diana have a better status than Camilla at the time?
They're both from the aristocracy, I think.
Because, I mean, I'm sure there's two sides to every story, and I have heard about how supposedly Charles was, like, forced to marry Diana, and he was already in love with Camilla, yada, yada, yada. But like you say, be a big boy and be like, I don't want to marry that girl.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
People have done it before in the royal family.
Because I think, okay, the older I've gotten, the more I think about people's characters. You know, you chose to get married. They weren't going to fucking put a gun to your head. And you, like, promised that you'd be faithful to this person. You'd be there for them. And he just, like, really fucked her over. And she was so young.
I know. She was a baby. But have you seen all the memes of Diana waiting for the queen in heaven?
Oh my god, I saw this scam. I don't think I've told you this yet. I saw this scam that was happening right after the queen died, where people are getting texts that say, hey, this is Queen Elizabeth. I'm not dead, but I need to get out of town. I need 200 pounds. Diana's with me. And then like another text bubble would pop up and be like, hey, love, it's Diana. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
I would
God.
send the 200 pounds. I'd be like, gang, gang.
Take my money.
Just
Oh
for
my
the meme.
goodness. Do it for the meme. But anyway, this is, as always, getting away from us.
So, what is the topic for this week, Denise?
Life after death. Right,
Yes.
Jessica?
Yep.
So what do you think happens?
When you die.
Where is the queen right now in your mind?
Okay, like I have some theories about this. This is what I would like to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to either go to this, like life was just all one big simulation. You wake up, you're somewhere else, right? And life was just practice for whatever other life is out there. It's like one big VR game. And I wake up and like I have all this knowledge, all this life experience, and I wake up and I'm young again and I'm in some planet.
What if you don't even have a human body? What if you're just like a bubble of gas with consciousness?
I'll accept that. I'll take that. I also okay, this is my other plan B, or my other want, is that I go to a different dimension.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that.
I love dimensions. How about you? What do you think what happens when you die?
Well, if we're on the topic, I feel like we have to touch on the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but as a kid, were you told, like, was it drilled into you, heaven and hell? Like, is that how you grew up, or did your family not?
Denise, I am a Catholic. My family is starch Catholics. Girl, of course that's what they told me.
Okay, same here. So I'd say for like the first 10 to 15 years of my life, it was very much you either go to heaven or you go to hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't want to go to hell. They made hell sound bad and scary. But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you believe any part of that anymore?
No.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
If anything, I would want to go to hell. Because let me tell you,
Hell sounds lit.
even if I'm burning up alive, I would rather do that than have to live a life on this mortal plane being something I am not. Thank you. Snaps. Snaps. Thank you.
That's not my good snapping hand. Here we go. Okay. So for me, it was really weird. Like when I had that realization of like, there's other like ideas and concepts out there for what happens after you die. Because for a long time, I was just like, I'm either going to heaven or I'm going to hell, you know?
Ride or die.
Yes. So once that world opened up, my mind was like blown. And so for a long time up until recently, I was really on the bandwagon of nothing happens after you die.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really thought,
Oh, but that's so boring.
it is so boring. But I think because it was such a shock to me, you know, that I possibly was lied to my whole childhood.
But
Or it's not even the lying, it's the, what do you call it? Like that.
narrow-mindedness.
Exactly. That whole, like, it's like they put blinders on you, you know?
But to be fair, our parents, and a lot of people, that's what was passed on to them, and so on and so forth.
True, true, true. So here we are breaking generational cycles, or whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, for a long, long time, I really felt like there was nothing. It's what made the most sense to me, you know? But recently, and I think mostly after the pandemic, I think we've touched on this before, that we both lost people during the pandemic, and I feel like that really makes you think, you know? Well, for me it did. And I really started getting into the concept of dimensions.
Are they going to say, because didn't your husband, he was really into, what's it called? Hinduism.
Yeah, so we lost a couple of family members during the pandemic, and neither my husband and I are particularly religious. But when that happened, I think for him it was really comforting to read about Hinduism and their take on life, which I think, I could be completely incorrect, but I think the main belief of it is reincarnation, right?
Yes.
Tell me, you're the smart one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think the concept of reincarnation is really interesting. What do you think?
I think so too. It's like a wash and repeat. Except for me, I mean, I believe that there could be endless possibilities. Perhaps everybody is different. They'll get something different.
Ooh, I
But
like that.
I don't want to come back here.
Right?
I
Well,
don't want to come
that is
back
why
here.
I'm so obsessed lately with dimensions, okay? So I don't know. I'm sure there's a name for this. I don't know because all I do is read and watch TikToks about this stuff. That is my source of knowledge. But I was reading about how supposedly Earth. Okay, so there's this concept that you have to go through different planes of existence, right?
Yeah.
Through different dimensions to reach, like, what some people call nirvana, or I guess some people would call heaven, or
Oh, we have a friend.
it's a puppy. Okay, so I was reading about how Earth sucks, right?
Yes.
But that, oh, I wonder if it's gonna pick up all the breeze.
Hold on. Okay,
We're
we're
back.
back. We have stuff for the wind now. Hopefully it's not picking up the wind.
Even though it's pretty nice. But I completely lost my train of thought.
Okay, you're talking about different dimensions.
Oh, yeah. So basically, I was reading and watching videos on this thing that says that, okay, we all know Earth sucks most of the time,
Sure.
but that I guess Earth is one of those planes of existence that you have to go through to ascend
What do you
and
think?
move on to the next.
Okay, say that there are
better thing.
5 planes of existence.
Yeah.
What plane do you think it'd be? 5 being like closest to nirvana.
What plane is Earth? I'm
Yeah.
going to say Earth is like
A solid.
I'm going to say it's a solid 2, maybe a 3 on a good day. You know what I mean? Like, we're not constantly, like, just living in flames and horribleness, but you know, racism, inequality.
Is it ghetto if I lay down?
No.
I just have to look around.
Rich people lay down too.
Okay. So, different planes of existence. How do I feel about it? Okay. During the pandemic, my brother died. Then my aunt died. And recently, my grandmother died. So, you know what they say, when it rains, it pours. So I hope, for their sake, that they found somewhere nice. And they're floating around there. I don't know.
I think that's the big thing. I think it's like comforting to think that when you lose someone close to you, you know, I think it's comforting to believe that they're still out there somewhere, you know?
Yeah, for my sake, I don't really care if it's like all dark void. But for their sake, I hope it's like somewhere nice. Like Hawaii.
Palm Springs.
Have you ever been to Palm Springs?
No.
That's like the city of gays.
The city of gayness? Is that what you just said?
No, I didn't say gayness. I said
Oh.
gays.
Well,
The gays
that still
are there.
sounds amazing. I was going to say a Mexican.
Your dad.
Yes.
Oh, we should bring your dad to Palm Springs.
Oh, my dad. My dad doesn't travel.
Ever?
No.
He's never come to see you in the States?
No. Thank you for unlocking that particular box of childhood trauma.
That is a little problematic,
We'll
you know.
get into it on the Do I Have Daddy Issues episode.
It's beautiful.
Spoiler alert, yes. Anywho, do you think ghosts are real?
Ghosts. How am I feeling about ghosts?
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.
Have you ever thought you saw a ghost?
No.
Do you believe in haunted houses? I'm sorry, this is just rapid fire now. Do you believe in haunted houses? Or haunted spaces, I guess.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah. Well, you know, we grew up Catholic. It's Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Now, are spirits holy? I don't think so.
True.
I feel like
true.
we're like in Vietnam. We're like in the grass. We're laying down. There's just people all around.
Well, I've never been to Vietnam.
Oh, I have been to Vietnam. I just said that, you know.
Well, I don't know if I believe in ghosts. I don't know. I just feel like it's all really tricky because I feel like you can't believe in an afterlife, but then not believe in ghosts. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's all tied together.
I think we're just very empathetic. So we're like, oh, this place sucks. We hope nobody gets stuck here for eternity.
Exactly.
Should we do a podcast in a haunted place?
I'll stay in the parking lot.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
can
bitch.
zoom
Did
it.
you just fucking say that you don't believe in ghosts, but you won't go somewhere supposedly haunted?
Okay, listen. This is my stance. Have I ever seen a ghost? No. Do I want to see a ghost? Also no.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very respectfully skeptical. Like, I don't necessarily really believe it, but I don't want to test it. Like, I don't want to fuck with it.
See.
You know what I mean?
Like, if you go looking for trouble, you're gonna find it.
Exactly. And like growing up, I think this is what really like terrified me. All my older cousins loved playing Ouija board.
What the fuck?
Have you ever played Ouija board?
No, but my best friend in high school, when she went to Mexico, they played Ouija board, and they swear a spirit came back to the States with them. Mm-hmm. What is up with Ouija boards in Mexico?
I don't know, because we're such a religious Catholic country, like, that's a lot of brujeria, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, all my cousins would play Ouija board, and I just remember hearing all these stories about how they were being haunted by ghosts and demons, and I just want no part of it.
I also want no part of it. Okay, so what dead people would you want to see if you could see any dead people?
I mean, the real answer would
I know
be
what
like,
gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
No, you do, but that's what I'm saying. The real answer, realistically, would probably be my grandma.
I thought you were gonna say Selena.
Yeah, that was my next.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if it's someone I've actually known and, you know, lost, it would be my grandmother. She died when I was 14. But if we're talking like anyone at all in the world,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're going Selena.
Oh my God! Stop, bitch. I
What about
bet you on any Mexican's top 5, Selena is on there.
Okay, you get to the next plane, you get to heaven, whatever it is. What are your 5 dinner party guests? You get a welcome dinner party.
My nana,
Mm-hmm.
my brother, my aunt, my grandma, and then a fun one. I would want to say, who's somebody that died mysteriously?
Ooh, Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood, Brittany Murphy, not Michael Jackson. Although
Why
I
can't
love
I
Michael.
think of any dead people right now? Kobe.
Elvis. Oh, Kobe. Why would I do Kobe?
Tupac.
Oh, Tupac. Who shot him?
Who shot Tupac?
Biggie. Who shot you? Ooh, it's another good one.
I don't know. I feel like there's so many mysteries out there. Okay, give me your 5 non-family.
Okay.
Strictly celebrity dinner party.
Tupac. Biggie. I don't know about Selena. I'm not really a big Selena fan.
You can meet her at mine. Well, we're not going to be... Okay, never mind. Let's not get into the logistics of that.
Tupac, Biggie. Fuck, who would I want to see? I guess Michael. Michael.
You gotta have Michael.
Queen Elizabeth II. And, what's a good one? Oh, the ice cream man's here.
Dope.
Oh, he's just pulling in. Okay,
I have cash if you want to get something. Maybe we could interview him. Or her. It's 2022.
Or they.
Or they.
Or they.
That's all I know. You got any more pronouns?
What's a gay icon that died? Elton John's
Marilyn
still with
Monroe.
us. Marilyn Monroe. John F. Kennedy. And Marilyn Monroe, same dinner party.
Ooh, you love the drama, don't you?
I do.
I
Who would
think
be
I
yours?
would pick, of course, Selena. Maybe we throw in Frida there. Frida Kahlo. I feel like you gotta get in someone really good with like a mystery to unsolve.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go Natalie Wood because I just want to know what happened on that boat.
Oh, is that the lady that drowned?
Yes, and Christopher Walken was there.
Oh my
He's
god.
never said a word. And I don't know. I feel like these are the random things I think about all the time. But now that now my mind's just completely blank.
Yeah, I agree.
Robin Williams, maybe? I was like strangely very sad when he died. Like,
Well,
I would have
suicide.
never been like, oh, I'm such a huge Robin Williams fan, but
I
on,
think
he
it's
was the
because
genie.
he was so depressed.
But he was so funny, right?
And he had the appearance of happiness.
So it was kind of a shocker.
Yeah. This is like a really hard topic. Because
It brings your mortality to the forefront, you know?
yeah, like it's inevitable. But you know, it's a good thing and bad thing. Like, I think when I was in the throes of my depression, I was like, listen, girl, this is how I talk to myself in the third person. I go, listen, girl, one day you're gonna fucking die. So if somebody, what you're going through, even though it's important, you're gonna work through it, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about, that for a long time I just believed nothing happened when you died. And when that concept first, settled into my mind, it was so depressing. And I think that's when I was, majorly a sad bitch. I was like, nothing fucking matters. Like, you just die and it's over. Life sucks, you die, it's done. But then, remember those times when we started going on walks during the pandemic?
Yes, at this park we went on a walk.
Yes. And I swear, you and Pitbull pulled me out of that depression with, our Lord and Savior Pitbull.
Thank you.
Mr. 305. Spoke through you and gave me the life motto that got me through the pandemic. I'm not here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. And basically it just clicked in my head, you know what? If there's nothing after you die, then nothing fucking matters, but not in a depressing way. And do whatever the hell you want. Have your fun, have experiences, and then that's it, because you're just going to die.
Yeah, because, okay, there's two type of people that will take that advice two different directions.
Mm-hmm.
I am on the camp that says, go ask that girl for her number, shoot your shot, have a good time. Don't be afraid to appear not to be cool or suave or, out of a box somebody else put you in. You are going to die one day. Be who you are. Don't lie to yourself. Don't stay in the closet just because you feel socially that you have to. Don't feel ashamed that if you want to be a they instead of a he or she or a zer. Just do what you want. People are, no matter what, are going to hate on you. Somebody is going to find a way to hate you or be disapproving of you. You want to live your life? You only got one fucking life. There's no redos. There's no, I'm going to do it this way, or, don't be afraid of being rejected. Denise, I'm talking a lot. Or, don't stop me whenever.
I don't want to stop you. You're on a roll. Keep it going.
Don't be scared of being rejected or looking foolish for telling somebody how you really feel or doing something you really want to do. If you want to go to Europe, bitch, go to Europe. Save that money, hustle. You can do it. Just because somebody told you you can't do it doesn't mean you can't. They're just putting a limit on you.
They're putting their limits
Exactly.
on you.
And if you ever feel embarrassed, you choose to be embarrassed. You don't have to be.
That is, oh my gosh, speaking of that, I had this moment, I was telling you that I went to Calvin Harris at this music festival, right? He was the closer. It was midnight. Everyone was so fucking drunk, so fucking high. And, I was just bopping along, pretending I was at EDC, fucking raving. And then it was out of nowhere, I just froze and I looked around and I was having such a good time. But then I realized I was oh, I probably look like an idiot. Everyone's probably staring at me. And I got so self-conscious and embarrassed that I just stood there for a while. I might have been a little under the influence, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
But then I realized I had this moment, this epiphany where I was how self-centered am I that Calvin Harris is right there and I think all the people in this crowd are staring at me,
Yeah.
maybe someone was staring at me because I looked pretty cute.
But who cares? You know?
I know, that's exactly what I mean. Like, who cares? And after I got over it, I was John Travolta out on that. Oh my God, that really aged me, but I was John Travolta just dancing my little heart out.
Yeah. You know, death really highlights. Oh, who's that? The police?
We got the ice cream man, we got the police, we got random kids walking by. This is great.
A ton of dogs. I keep on cursing. I need to stop. Actually, I don't. It's my life. But okay, scratch that. Death really highlights life. You know what I mean? It's like, just live, you know? Do what makes you feel the freest.
Exactly.
And if that's dancing like an idiot, do it.
And I did.
We live.
But I actually follow this nurse on TikTok who she's a hospice nurse. So she's always talking about just the dying process. And she talks about how if we as humans were more educated on the dying process, that it wouldn't be so scary. And I feel like that's so true because I feel like death is something that people don't like to talk about, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like out of sight, out of mind.
It's a taboo topic.
But I think it's just like anything else. Like, the more you know about it, like, the less intimidating it is, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's a lot to do sometimes. I'll speak for myself. I'm very Americanized.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about death in American culture is kind of like, it's like something taboo because it's something nobody wants.
Like, it's offensive almost, you know?
Yeah,
to bring
like,
it up.
In the United States, if you talk about something, then you're asking for it. But death can be a beautiful thing if you let it be. I mean, it depends on the circumstance. On Guam, like, one of the older traditions that people don't really do anymore because we're so Americanized is that, like, the body would spend one more night at the house, and all throughout the night people would come visit, and then the family just stays in the room with the body. In America, a dead body in a room, that's unsanitary, that's disgusting. Did you hear about, there was this rapper in the South, he recently died, and so his family was like, well, he never went to church, why would we have a funeral at the church? So they had his body arranged to, like, stand up, and it was pumped full of, I forget what they call it, the stuff that...
The fluid that they use?
Yeah, the fluid that they use. I forget what it's called. And he looked like he was standing up. They put a crown on his head. They took him to a club. And so the club was happening, and he was up there with, like, a crown. He was wearing his, like, outfit, like, his club outfit. And they were like, it was a celebration of his life.
Yeah.
That's the way he would have wanted to go out. And I heard it's, like, a real big thing in the South now to arrange bodies like that.
Really? Well, see, the thing is, I mean, I feel like I bet there was people who were somehow offended by that.
Oh, my God, of course.
Right? But I just feel like, I don't know, do you have plans? Like, do you ever think about, and that's what I mean, because even just asking you right now, I feel like, oh my God, I shouldn't ask her.
Why?
But
I ask you all kinds of stuff.
No, I mean, because how we were talking about that in America, like, we don't really talk about death.
Oh, I'm totally comfortable with it. I mean,
do you know what you want? Like, let's
100%.
say you do. Can you share it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an A and a B. A is that I wanna be left into the forest so that animals can eat me.
Okay. Okay.
Or B, I want to be made into a record. Lauryn Hill, the uneducated.
Oh, bitch. Cannot. Is there such a thing as this is going to sound horrible. You know how there's party planners? Are there funeral planners?
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like you have to go to a funeral home and then they have someone there, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying you should get a party funeral planner, like maybe the person who did that guy's funeral. I think you should are you saying you're going to get, like, cremated and then your ashes are going to get put into a record?
Yep.
Make multiple records.
Stop.
And then
You get one.
Thank you.
Of course you get one.
Honestly, that's beautiful. Thank you. And that's what I mean. You give your ashy records to your family and friends. That's beautiful. Like, that's such a better way, I feel, to remember someone than, like, the norm that we have right now.
I was talking, okay, first of all, I stole that idea. When I was going to college, there was this girl that we were like homies in Com 101, and I looked at her one day. And first of all, we'd always get in trouble for talking, so this is a rarity for me because usually I don't want to talk to anybody. But I was like, what record would you want to be made into? And she was like, Lauryn Hill, the, what is it, uneducation, or the
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
But I
I
don't
was
remember
like,
the name.
I want to be Wu-Tang. And I was like, no, that's a better album. And I was so surprised that somebody had a better answer than me. I was like, what a bad bitch.
Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful plan though. And I think there should be more options like that because funerals are so depressing and I feel like losing a loved one is already depressing enough.
Well, it wouldn't be true to me. Like, I don't go to church.
Yeah, but even without a church you can still have a funeral, you know? Like I'm saying the traditional like you're in a casket. You get put in the ground.
Everybody come say bye.
Exactly. Everyone wears black. You know what I mean?
What would you want to do? What are your plans? A and B? Maybe C?
Okay. I don't know. I'm actually, I don't know if excited is the right word,
Oh my
but I'm
God.
excited. I feel like there's more, because I feel like right now the big ones are like you either have a traditional burial or you get cremated, and that's kind of it a lot of times.
Yeah.
But now I feel like there's more options coming out. My number one right now is I want to be buried in a human pod that turns into a tree.
Beautiful.
That is my number one. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if I can do it, but that's number one. Number two is I would like to get shot out into space.
Stop it, bitch. I love it.
Yes, so
Oh my God, both of ours are so great.
and like I just want to have like a baller ass funeral where basically it's like a 4th of July party, but my family just shoots me into space. That'd be my dream.
I heard recently that this, oh, well, first of all, I heard it because somebody was offended about it online.
Of course.
But this guy, instead of, so his wife got cremated, but instead of having a traditional funeral at like a funeral service or a church, he rented out a movie theater and then he just displayed like movie clips of her and her family and her friends and like pictures, and there was like a buffet, and basically it was like a celebration. Now that to me is fun because like I said, it's all situational. My brother died young, so that to me is tragic. But my grandma was like,
She lived a full life.
yeah, 90 something years old. To me, a full life is when you live over 60. You know, you lived a good amount of time. But some people die young, and I feel like they didn't get to grow as much as they could have. They lost opportunities. Like, life is such a precious thing, and that's why death. Well, have you ever heard? Okay, now I'm just going off topic. I'm talking a lot. I don't like it. But do you ever hear the quote where it says, like, the gods are jealous of humans because human life is so short, and so they get to like have this euphoric feeling because you only have so much time, whereas like gods live forever.
See, and I think that's part of the problem that we don't talk about death. So I think that feeds into, I feel like the mentality that a lot of us have now that you just kind of, you know, we waste our days, we waste our youth because we don't think about how, oh, it's all going to end one day until something happens, you know, like you lose someone close to you or you yourself, you know, have health problems or whatever it may be. But I feel like if you're okay on the day-to-day, I feel like most people
It escapes
kind
you.
of just takes it for granted, you know? And I'm in that. Like, I'm not any better, but I've really been trying to, like, just enjoy the little things, you know?
I think, when's the first, oh, you were 14 when you lost your grandma. So that was like the first time you ever lost somebody important to you?
Like, someone really close to me, yes. Before that, I met my great-grandma, so my grandma's mom. I think she died when I was, like, 8 or 9, and that was the first funeral I ever went to. Honestly, traumatic. Like, anytime I've had someone pass away in my family, like, I usually don't even go to Mexico for the funerals because my great-grandma's funeral was so depressing and, like, it's kind of like how you say that they do on Guam. people come and see the body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't have it in our house, but I don't know. It was just such a sad, like, somber occasion. And I would have said, like, I don't know how you make a funeral not sad, but you just gave us some great examples, you know? Like, there's other things you can do than, like, have, I don't know. Seeing a dead body for the first time as a child was, like, I'm getting flashbacks right now. Like,
Was it open casket?
yeah, it was.
Okay. If I may, I will intercede. I have been seeing dead bodies since I was very little. Because on Guam, when we have funerals,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, most of the time, unless something happened to the body, it is open casket. So I've been, you know what I mean? It doesn't really faze me because I never have gotten close to it. But I do have this memory. When I was 10 years old, I had already been in the States for like 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandfather died. So I had to go back to Guam for the funeral. Now, I just remember we go to the cathedral. And we go up to the body so I can say goodbye. And I've never touched a dead body. But my somebody told me it was either my parents or my grandma. They're like, amen. So when you amen someone, you kiss their cheek, right?
Like amen, like you say at the end of a prayer? Or is it different?
It's spelled differently.
Oh, okay.
But, so I amen him, which I kiss his cheek. And I just remember, I will never forget this feeling. It was so cold. And I was like, after that, I was like, oh my God.
Formaldehyde. I just remembered it.
What they put in the body?
That's what they put in the body.
And so that's the first funeral I remember because I had to be there all day. And then on Guam, I don't know if they do this in Mexico, but we do rosary for like, I think 10 days.
Yeah.
So I went 10 days. Every night we do rosary. Rosary, oh my gosh.
Isn't it depressing though? It's so culty too.
Oh my God, but it's so much fun because I was a kid, right? So after they're done with rosary, because we did it at a church, we get to go outside and play and eat. Because I don't know why, but maybe it's just my family that every time they have rosary, we make this delicious corn soup. And so I had the corn soup.
Sounds so good.
And then we go out and play hide and seek. And then whenever my uncles would stop smoking their cigarettes, we go get the buds.
And do what with them?
Yeah, but...
Did you pretend to smoke them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I did smoke them.
Oh my God, Jessica.
Listen, who was raising me? I don't know.
You turned out okay, though.
But I just remember that funeral, like, in particular when I was a kid, because it was such a, like, I had to fly to Guam. I had to do rosary for 10 days. And then the day of the funeral, I was there all day. And I just remember my brother that passed away, he had lived in the States. This is not his grandfather. It's his, like, my dad's dad. And so my dad is not his biological dad, but he was there. And he took me, because we were in the cathedral. Across the street from the cathedral is the Spanish chocolate village, which the Spaniards, it's their village when they ruled Guam.
Made of chocolate?
No, it has a chocolate house.
Whoa.
And it has this big, I don't know what to call it. It's like an outdoor courtyard thing. But I just remember my brother went to take me out there to go walk. Oh,
I think a child might be
dying.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
or playing tag. I don't know.
I have that vivid memory. And then when my brother passed away, I just remember thinking, this is the worst day of my life. If I could do anything to get out of this, I would.
Yeah. See, I totally get you on that. So let me ask you this. Did you go to your brother's services and everything after he passed?
I
Did you feel like you had to?
I feel like I owed it to him because I knew he was going to pass away, but it was during COVID, so I never went to the hospital to say goodbye. And we had a fight. I don't know if I should be saying this, but I will. We had a fight before he died. I went to his house when the ambulance was taking him to the hospital. And then my other brother was there, my second oldest brother. My oldest brother passed away. My second oldest brother was there when he was taken to the hospital. My second older brother, Jesus Christ, he was like, no, nothing's going to happen. He's just being a bitch.
Oh, okay.
And then he went to the hospital, and all my siblings went to go say goodbye. And I just felt so guilty I never went. And then I felt like, I have to go to this funeral. Not only did I go to the funeral, Denise, I gave a speech during the funeral.
You never told me
and
this.
And there was a shit ton of people there.
Oh my gosh.
And the whole
that must have been so hard.
I wrote a letter to him.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time, I was hysterically crying. And if you know
Jessica!
me, that
That's
is
not you.
not something I do. I do
No.
not cry in front of people.
Okay, but next question. Do you feel like the process of the funeral helped you or made it harder to process and mourn?
Okay, let me just say, first of all, I'd wake up every morning to my mom wailing, crying.
Okay, that doesn't help.
But my mom, it's her first
son.
kid.
Yeah.
But I was not involved in any way in the planning. Listen, in my culture, I don't know if it's the same for you, we are soldiers. They tell us what to do. I went about it. I went to go do it. I went to go get flowers. I went to go set up chairs. I cooked for after the funeral. I cooked for the rosary. I used to say the rosary. So we did 2 rosaries.
Mm-hmm.
One in the morning, which I would say I didn't know how to do rosary.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn how to do rosaries. And then one in the afternoon, which my dad would say. And the first time we were doing the rosary, my mom was like, "You have to do it. I can't do it." And so the first time I did it, I fucking cried the whole time.
Damn.
So I wouldn't say it was great for me, no.
Okay, because for me, so I was a kid, but like I said, I think my great-grandmother's funeral when I was 9, like, really scarred me. Like, it was so depressing, and as a kid, like, I didn't know how to process it. And we weren't necessarily close, my great-grandmother and I, but it's kind of like what comes along with it. Like you said, your mom was always crying, same for me. Like, people in my family were upset. That made me sad. Long story short, when my grandmother passed when I was 14, I didn't go to her funeral. I remember it was like the first time I made a decision for myself, you know?
You never went?
I didn't go to my grandmother's funeral.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, I was so sad and upset, and I just remember thinking, like, if I go to the funeral and it's the same as my great-grandmother's, like, I'm gonna be, like, it's gonna take me, like, 3 times as long to, like...
Process?
Yes. So I made a very conscious decision to stay in the States while my mom went to Mexico. And let me tell you, when I say that, the guilt trips that have been put on me to this day about not going to my grandmother's funeral are unreal.
Classic move.
Yes, of course. I will say not by my mother. So thank you, Mom. But other people in the family. And I get why, because it was hard for other people. Like, I just feel like funerals are so sad.
There are certain times in your life where you'll be taxed emotionally, and definitely funerals are one of those times, especially if you're very, very close to the deceased.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it makes it so much harder that I feel like there's this pressure to do funerals a certain kind of way.
Especially
since
we both come from very traditional cultures.
Exactly. And I think that's what I didn't want. Like, my grandma was a very lively person. She was fun. And that's, like, the opposite of, like...
It's very somber.
Exactly. And I didn't want that. And I didn't want to remember her like that. And I really do think it helped me, like... process it on my own terms, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like when someone dies, someone you love, someone you're close to, I feel like you should be able to process and celebrate or mourn however, like, you and your family see fit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it makes it so much worse that there's all these societal pressures to do funerals and burials like a certain kind of way, you know?
That's true.
But that's my 2 cents on that.
I almost don't even want a funeral. I know. I just want to be eaten alive by animals.
Honestly, can we talk? Well, we don't need to talk about it, but controversial, but I feel like burials and modern day funerals are such a scam. Like,
it costs so much.
It costs so much to put someone in the ground.
It costs so much to bring somebody into life, and it costs so much to put them in the ground.
Exactly. So I have told my husband, my mom, whatever. I'm like, if something happens to me, you cremate me and put me in a coffee can. do whatever you gotta do. If you spend more than like $1,000 on my burial, I will haunt you.
Can I tell you how much my brother's funeral cost?
How much?
$20,000.
Yeah, that's the average.
That is insane to me.
That's why I think it's crazy that, like, okay, so the type of insurance that people have here in Las Vegas, people who work in the casinos, they give you, if you, I don't know if it matters if I say it, the kind of insurance, but anyway, basically if you die and you're an employee of certain casinos, your family gets $30,000 for your burial. I think it's crazy that you spend that, like, let's say you're a wife with kids and your husband dies or whatever type of situation, like, wouldn't that money be put to better use in other things? But no, you have to spend 30 grand.
Think about weddings, though. Weddings are like what?
That's why I eloped.
I love. And I know I was refusing to be part of your wedding, but if you ever really had a wedding, I just want you to know I will be a part of it now. I'm matured.
Can you DJ my wedding?
Fuck yes.
Hell yeah.
When I have a wedding, if I ever have one, I hope so, you will definitely be a part of my wedding party.
Oh my gosh.
If I don't elope like you.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll be your witness. Tell me wherever you're going to elope.
We will be podcasting during my wedding.
Perfect.
I also will invite you to the cake tasting.
It is. Oh, thank you. That's the best part. But isn't it funny the traditions people have? Because isn't it, I could be completely wrong. Excuse my ignorance. But in India, don't they wear white to funerals? And it's why brides wear red?
I think it has to do with, so in Indian culture, I believe that white is the symbol for mourning.
Yeah, see, in here it's like you wear black or dark colors and you get married in white.
Well, think about it this way. You're born into this world.
Mm-hmm.
You're taught traditions and things that were taught to people before you.
Just gets passed down over
and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents went to school, you will go to school. Your parents went to college, you go to college. Your parents got married, have a monogamous relationship. You do the same thing. You have kids because people tell you to have kids. A lot of people, I mean, I hope none of the parents find this, but I notice, like, a lot of my little kids, their parents are very, very young. And I can tell that they kind of just let the kids have their way. And that is definitely not my way.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, you know what I mean? There's no thought into it.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of go through the motions in life. Most people do.
But that's kind of sad, you know?
People have
just doing things because it's what's expected.
And, you know, I think most people, they're like, if I do this, then maybe that will give me happiness. If I do that, maybe, or if I make my parents happy by doing this. You know what I mean? My parents really want me to have kids. Am I going to do that just because they want it? No.
I was just telling you, my mom's going to shamans to find out if she's going to ever be a grandmother or not. So we'll see how that goes.
My mom has one grandchild. She loves that grandchild. And I'm not going to lie to you. I really like my nephew. I watched my nephew for one day, Denise.
Mm-hmm.
It really took it out of me. It really took it out of me. And I said, I have to go to work. And then I would have to see a little fucker after work. I don't know if I could do that.
I don't either. Kids are a lot. I mean, not that we have to tell people, but kids are a lot. Look at those little fuckers over there.
Oh my goodness. We have to get into a fight. I have 12 3-year-olds for 2.5 hours.
Sounds fun.
I have to pry them off of things. I have to stop them from killing each other.
But isn't it beautiful that, you know, kids are just kids and they just do whatever the hell they want?
Well, I think eventually they get taught out of that, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So, any last words about death? Any near-death experiences?
No, I don't think I ever have had one. Like, I've had scary moments that make me contemplate my life, but not that, you know, like, I was above my body and I saw the light.
Did
None
I
of
tell
those.
you about that?
You had one?
Where I, like, had an out-of-body experience. I've said this on the podcast before.
Okay, tell us again.
Where I was just, like, I was in, what was it? I think it was GRC 103 or something. It was a graphic design class. And we were, like, in a row of computers. And I was, like, the head of my group. So I was talking to my classmates. and all of a sudden I was like mid-sentence, and I could like, it's like my body left, or like my spirit left, and I could see myself from like the ceiling looking down at my body. And then for a minute I was like, what? And then I realized what happened, and then I went back into my body. And then one of my classmates was like, are you okay? And I was like, what the fuck is going on with me?
Have you ever tried to do that again? Or did you literally die for like a couple minutes and then come back?
Who knows? Maybe I had a stroke.
Maybe you were about to like astral project. Bitch. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
We can't end the podcast without, because this is the one thing. Okay. So now I'd like to believe that when I die,
Denise
I was
getting
just attacked by something.
She's getting attacked by bugs.
Okay, I'd like to think that when I die, I'm going to go on to the next plane of existence or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that always gets me, and it's what first started my questioning of heaven. Do we go to heaven? So I don't know if you were told this, but I was always told that animals don't have souls, right?
Stop.
Humans have souls, humans go to heaven, right?
Okay.
But we're animals, just
Talking.
our brains are different, I guess,
Yeah.
you know? But why do I get to go on, but let's say that friggin' bird over there dies right now? What happens to him?
Okay, false. I do not follow this train of thought or this belief system. Animals are living things.
Are they conscious?
Yeah,
All animals? What
I
about
would say so.
bugs?
I would say so.
What about bacteria?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. That's where it kind of sends me on a loop of like, so
I think that's just like such a silly thing to think, that we're so superior, only we get to do something. That's
agree.
like almost, no, it is 100% discriminatory.
yeah.
That thought came from a racist.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, that's why I kind of like the train of thought that you have to. And I'm like a baby on this journey of this thought that you go on to a different plane of existence. Like, I'm barely reading about it, but I like it because, you know, it talks about how, you know, in the next plane of existence, you could be a flower, or you could be a fucking mountain, or I don't know.
A
You know what I mean?
mountain.
I don't know.
May I ask you something before we end?
Yes.
Do you believe that you meet some people in different versions of your lifetime if you do reincarnation? Like, say
Like you meet the same people again?
not the same people, but some of the same people. And not in every single life, maybe every other. Like, do you think you and your husband knew each other in a different life? Okay, let me expand my question. So, do you meet some people and it's just like, I always say it's like butter. Like, talking to them is just so easy.
Yeah.
You flow on the same vibe.
Yeah.
Have you ever met people like that? And we're
Yeah.
people that are like hard. We are people that are, I'm not even gonna lie, both hard to get to know.
Yes.
So,
I do think that. I don't know the specifics of it, but I think, you know, if I'm going to say, hey, I think you live multiple lives, it must be the same for, well, in my mind, I feel like it's probably the same for everybody else. So, of course, I feel like there's always a chance that you've met people in past lives.
do you think it's on purpose, like divine purpose, or no? Just chance.
No, I think. No, I don't know. Stop! You're melting my brain. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just have such a hard time with like fate and things like that because for a long time I didn't believe in any of that. That now I catch myself like, whoa, this is too whimsical. This is too out there, you know? But, have you ever heard of a soul contract?
No, not at all.
So the only way that I've heard it is that you have soul contracts with certain pets. Like you and Pookie might have a soul contract.
We love each other.
Of course. And Pookie was meant to be in your life, right?
I really believe it.
See? So I feel like it's probably the same with certain people, you know, that maybe to achieve whatever it is that's going to send you to the next plane of existence, you have to meet certain people and you have to
like,
achieve
level up
exactly.
You know, my parents bought Pookie, or I met Pookie the first time I had like a deep, deep depression as an adult, or maybe like ever in my life, like the worst year of my life, the first round. Second round was 2020. 2016, that was the first round. Everything was going wrong. That is when my parents bought Pookie. And since that day, he's been like the love of my life.
That is so sweet. That's exactly how I feel about my dog. I have more than one dog, but only one of them, my favorite. We got a thing, you know. I'm pretty sure we're soulmates on a platonic level. And I'm pretty sure we've met in a past life.
I think there are things. Okay, let me talk from my perspective. I think there are things that some higher power puts in your life to see if you will, not to see, but to, I want to say, level you up. Your conscious. What am I trying to say? Level you up.
Like your karma, or I don't know what you'd call it, but
Yeah, like mentally.
Yeah.
Take you mentally to the next level. Because I've definitely felt that. And it's usually right after a depression. A really bad depression. Like Denise, though, every time I'm depressed, I believe Denise was sent in my life because every time I've been depressed, you've been in my life.
Wait, that sounds like...
Oh, no. But you,
like I'm making your ass depressed.
But you helped me. Like, when I was depressed in 2020, after all that shit happened, Denise was still scared of COVID. I was still scared of COVID. We would still meet up at the park with our mask on. So then, like, I would work through my depression. That 100% helped me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll send you the bill. No,
in 2016, when I was super depressed, I would text Denise like every day. I don't know if you remember when we had Google Chats.
Yes.
I would text her every day. We'd always talk.
I just remember one time when something happened. I think it was during 2020. And I think you just started frantically texting me and you were like, I'm so upset. I've been crying for hours.
No.
I was like, what? Jessica crying?
Hold on. Oh, no. Hold on. When I
you don't remember this?
No, I do remember it. I'm trying to remember what happened. Oh, I'm going to bleep this.
She who shall not be named happened.
Exactly. And then after my brother died, like even now I'm still going through it. When I try not to talk about it because I will cry, but Denise would play like, I got an iPhone. She has an iPhone now. We're iPhone people. But Denise would play like iPhone or iMessage games with me, and she was like, anytime you need me to play games with you, I will. And I was straight talking shit to her this whole time as we were playing because she knew it was going to make me feel better. We even played like a fucking word game in Spanish. And I won.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but
that's beautiful.
I'm just glad it helped somehow. I mean, death is tough, you know, and I think it's the fact that, like, we don't know exactly
what
happens, what they're feeling, what they go through. Like, I think that's the hardest part, you know, not knowing. That makes it scary, I think.
Anything in life. People reach for things that will comfort them, but I think to lie to yourself and pretend your life is going to be, you know, you're going to be immortal somehow. I feel like you're robbing yourself, you know?
Yeah.
That you're robbing yourself of appreciating the here, the now, living in the present instead of thinking of the past or the future. Live right now. Enjoy yourself right now. So on and so forth. Anything else? Any last words?
My last words for this podcast will be funerals are for the living is what I think.
True.
So if you're in the unfortunate situation where you lose a loved one, I would just say that as long as you're not hurting anybody else, I think, or yourself, I think you should not feel guilty for processing the way you want to. Whether that's going out and getting shit-faced, because that's what you and your best friend used to do, or if it's friggin', you know, jumping out of an airplane because that was on your bucket list with a certain someone, like, go fucking do it. You don't have to, you know, sit and cry in a funeral parlor.
And it's not like, here's my mistake. It's not a one and done. You're not going to get this done in one session. If you're really close to somebody, you're going to process this probably for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's a good point. The grieving cycle if that's what you call it, it's a roller coaster, right? And it'll sneak up on you years later, and that's okay, because when you love someone and they're gone, it's just, I feel like the most normal thing to miss them and feel that absence, you know? But
It's the most human thing.
exactly. And I guess my closing parting words would be that just enjoy people while they're here. And I know sometimes that gets a little hard with just the day to day of life, but yeah, just enjoy people. Try to enjoy people while they're here. So if you're mad at someone, just go give them a hug. You know, it'll be okay.
Beautiful.
And I say this as I like go get in a fight with my brother or my husband or something
Oh
over.
my gosh.
Wait, are we done?
We can be, yeah.
I feel like, oh, that's beautiful. We ended at sunset.
You want to be done?
I guess. You got anything else?
No, I said everything.
Nothing matters. We're just here for a good time.
Not a long time.
Not a long time.
Live in the present. Don't try to think too much about the past or the future. Just live for right now, because you never know.
And if you fuck up, don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah,
it's going to be
okay.
okay. We're all going to die anyway. So
It's okay to cry. It's okay to forgive yourself. It's okay to be disappointed in yourself. Just know that there's always tomorrow. Hopefully, God will, not God willing. We don't believe in God, but universe willing.
the Dark Lord willing. Okay. And with that,
We bid you adieu.
bye.
Bye.